Well, greetings, hello, and welcome. I'm Imperial Jedi, and we're taking a really, I guess, in-depth look at Railroads Online. I don't even know what to call this video. I don't know what to call this game. This is pretty much like the jankiest, greatest simulator I've ever played in my life. Like, I honestly don't know how to say this in one mouthful, but this is probably one of the best games ever. It's a sandbox simulator. If you played, like, Transport Fever in the past, or those kind of, like, games, it's almost like the first-person version of this. So we're creating like railroad connections between like factory points, supply chain lines. I don't even know. It's a really good game though. So you get dropped off near the freight depot in the middle of this huge map, no instructions, no tutorial, no nothing, and just like, here's a locomotive, have fun. They didn't even tell you to like connect the freaking cars together. Oh my goodness. But all of it, I think like part of the fun is just the discovery. Like it just feels so real. You're like a pioneer in the 1890s or whatever year this is supposed to be. It's narrow gauge American Railway. Really cool. Like I don't even know. I just kind of dove in. My friend told me about this game, and a video popped up. Next thing I know, I was watching like a live stream from the devs, and I was like, "This is the greatest thing ever." So yeah, I'm going to show you guys a little bit about it. I've been playing yesterday with some of my friends, and we got a starter railroad area going. And again, I don't really know what I'm going to title this video, but if you're kind of looking at this wondering if it's for you, I feel like if you've already made it this far, like you're searching up videos for it, like this is pretty much for you. So let's dive in and have some fun. We are over at the lumber thing, the lumber camp. What is that thing called? Oh, for goodness sakes. The logging camp. Logging camp, we need to bring material down to the sawmill. We've already been doing that to try to get some money. You also gain experience that way. And yeah, the lumber mill... the sawmill is kind of full. So I was going to bring this back to the depot and then show you guys kind of like my home base and just kind of like where you start, how you buy like trains and that kind of stuff. And just like, I don't know, I guess the goals. I mean, the goals have fun, I guess, right? But all right, so when I say janky, I mean like every aspect of this game is so janky. Removing the trees is janky, moving around is janky, player models, everything. But I can't describe how wonderful that makes the game. It's almost like the potential for memes and just like fun is like exponentially better because of how janky the game is. If the jankiness is not for you, the game won't be for you. I don't know how to describe that, but you'll know instantly. You're going to be so frustrated and then all of a sudden just be like so fine with it. And then when you play with your friends especially, you just have so much silly fun with it. Okay. So I'm going to place down a little switch right here. I'm trying to get... Oh, I just missed the mark. I'm trying to get over to that side track that I'm laying. And I just kind of thought this curve was a little bit... or the straight track here was a little bit curved. So I thought I'd just redo this. But you're basically laying some bedding. You can control the height. You can control the angle. The game's getting constantly updated. So all of this is probably going to be like terribly outdated in like 3 days. But for the moment, you can like snap to pieces and... once you have a little bit laid down, you can snap it and then control like height and angles. Otherwise, like again, it's pretty janky. Not a lot of keyboard shortcuts. You're constantly opening the menu. That build menu you can accidentally open like twice. It's just, yeah. But I'm not trying to say it's a bad game. I'm just kind of pointing out that it's janky. But I love it. All right, so switch to the right. See if we can kind of get that lined up. I started doing some bedding. I've been having a really hard time trying to keep like really good speed through this curve because it's also a downhill. And I guess we'll just redo that bit there. Oh, I also want to point out, I am not a train, like, I don't work in trains. I'm just an enthusiast. There are so many people that know so much. And I'm going to be taking, like, this as, like, a tutorial approach for, like, the everyday person who loves trains but doesn't really know a lot about them, which is kind of me. Like, I feel like I know that trains operate on rails. How they even stick to the rails, that in itself is confusing. And then just, you know, driving like a steam locomotive. I've played other games that are similar to this, so I have like a vague idea, but there's literally no tutorial. So I'll show you guys like the basics, but my goodness. So you can see I was just laying some ground rail there, or rail bed, and I'm linking this to previous track. And then this is the snapping I was talking about. So you see how we're all kind of like wavy-davy right now? If I press left alt, it'll snap me straight, and now I can't go anywhere but straight up and down. And then if I wanted to, this is where the curve radius can come in, so I can just keep tapping the Y. So, if that so is your desire. And then if you wanted a cleaner experience when playing, you can just tap the X before you go into your build menu, and you'll just end up with like a clean looking UI. So, whatever you want. Downside, your rail segments can't be very long. Otherwise, it'll mess with some of the terraforming, perhaps, or how the rail just goes down. Clipping could be a problem. So you end up with this kind of stuff frequently. You're like, oh, that's straight. No, it's not. So back to the drawing board we go, right? So the frequent one here. And then if your beds don't match, that also in itself will create a bit of a warping issue. So be prepared. So funny, like the first video I watched, right, it was like a really simple rail layout. It looked beautiful. It was just like, I was like, oh, that's great, right? And the guy's like, this took 7 hours or something. I was like, no way, no way. So I was like, I'm gonna get this game and I'm gonna do it faster. I think I was like 3 hours in and I was like 2 feet out of my starting area. And I was like, oh, for Pete's sake. Okay, so that snapping did not want to cooperate. Sometimes it likes to snap to the bedding and not actually the rail. So this is kind of like the worst it will be in terms of the jank. So if you can live through this, you're fine. Okay, so that's now connected. I'm going to show you guys the last little bit of loading. I'll give you a couple tips here. I'm not going to bother connecting this and showing you the switches. We'll go through other switches. I just needed this in place here. And so help me, this is going to take me either 2 minutes or 2 years, so this might not be that pretty. Downside is you only get that snapping feature once you've already laid a piece. Another really nice thing about the game is as you put more segments down, it will try to like smooth them out. So we'll just erase that a bit. And you can see the bedding, you know, a little bit of a suggestion sometimes. I kind of missed the mark, I think, over here, but that's okay. We're just trying to make this curve a little bit wider. That was kind of the plan. And we also wanted to get the switch in, so you could either bypass or just have like access to some side tracks to have some train cars chill. Whatever the technical term is for that. And I've started a little bit of a turnaround point and kind of like shunting stuff back at home base. Well, that's not too bad. That little dip there is a little bit unavoidable, I want to say, for the moment, just because of the switch we're going into. And that's not too bad. Well, let's find out if we'll go off the rails or not. And oh, wait, hold on, wait a minute. I don't even think we're connected down at the end of this little bend here. Hold on. That could come back and haunt us, right? Oh my god. Okay. Yep. Okay, so I think I actually might delete a little bit of this first. Alright, so going back to the map, you have to get everywhere. You can walk places if you want. Otherwise, there's no like road or rail yet. You have to build your way there. And I was saying before, like when you drop off stuff and do things and like connect supply chains, you will get XP, and that will move your character up in terms of like levels. Hey, there's me. And yeah, that's how you buy more trains. So we're level 3, so we can buy some cool stuff. I have got no money. Like $1,690 in 1870 sounds like a lot, but it's not. And then the mechanic for cutting down trees, just in case you were kind of curious. This is the jank factor coming in. Whoa, there we go. There's a good one. Yeah, so that costs $2. In case you're like, what? I know, right? You just get used to it. See how I'm not, you know, it's all good. Spinning top to you. No, it's when the tree is clipping through something, so I kind of knew that was going to happen, but yeah, you got to cut down your own trees. They'll be in the way when you're laying the bedding and the rail, and that costs $2, which is, you know, you cut down enough of those, that's the price of like a Lexus right there, right? So we got to be conscientious about that, and we're just trying to like make money now. Okay, we're connected. Our switch points in the right direction, which is super pivotal. I learned that the hard way. You will yeet yourself right off the tracks, unfortunately. All right, so you can see that's really nice motion right there. We want to be toggled that direction. Cool, that's smooth. My voice is not. That is smooth. The curve is good. And yeah, let's jump on the train and see what we can do here. Let me drink some coffee. Okay. So I got to load like one more log. I was pretty strategic about this, so we wouldn't be wasting all of our time. I do also need to get tracks going up to this part over here. That's why there's that other switch. I think one of the mines need this. The cordwood. And that's going to be an entirely different rail car, which is really cool too. But you can see how the tracks will eventually need to be cleared of trees. This might eat. That's not so bad. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. You just pick your path, survey the territory to make sure the terrain elevation, the grades and all that steepness is within tolerance. Lay your track, hope for the best, bring the stuff in. Logging camps, you can see, are going to produce logs no matter what. We've got the worker bees invisible in the forest. We click on the delivery. It'll crane up a log, bring it over to our waiting train. kind of see we got a water tower for refills. I've been letting this just kind of sit here for way too long, so we're probably pretty low on water. This is Betsy. Betsy's a good workhorse. Water levels. Oh, okay, no, it's not so bad. Just over half. I think we can make a trip. Got our boiler down there, our wood stockpile, our pressure gauge, a whole bunch of stuff that I don't understand but is very necessary. The most important one ever. Excellent. And we got a bell we can ding. Okay. So these have already been loaded. They're really cool. You can hold however many logs that is, 6, I believe. And depending on where you drop your logs off, it's going to be anywhere between like $20 and $30 maybe for a log. And then I promised you guys a tip. This is something that one of my friends who does like railroad stuff IRL, who's sunk so many hours into this game already, said to do. So put a firewood depot right next to your log camp. That way when you have your trains in front of this, you can just like lock and load. And also you can make some money that way too. And then that's the whole point of this little side thing right here, is so we can just do a lock and load really quickly of some firewood. Definitely want to be stockpiling firewood forever and always. Especially if you're just kind of irresponsible with time like me and just leave the fire going. Leave the fire going, run out of wood, be stranded out in the middle of nowhere and ask for help. By the way, the game's 64-person multiplayer. It runs off your computer, and you have to set kind of like your local server in your Steam settings, which is like independent from the game. That's a bit of a random one. But yeah, multiplayer. Play solo, multiplayer. So much fun. Okay, let's load up, was it 2 more? My math is terrible here. Jump on up. It's the V key, Victor, to go 3rd person. It's old man Jenkins. Look at us. This is so great. And I don't know, that crosshair, does that go away? I don't know. That's kind of weird. But that's us. We're seasoned veterans of the railroad. Pioneer. All right, 1 more of these, and then we're good to go. That should auto-finish. If you want, you can put the brakes on your cars. We're already pinned up, so we're okay. Pinning is really complicated. That's when you're like putting the 2 things together. Harder than it needs to be. Let's just put it that way. All right, so I'm going to jump in. We're going to try to figure this all out here. I'm going to, not too much speed, just a bit of reverse. Open up the regulator. Oh, I got no fuel in the fire. We still got steam because we're holding the pressure, but let's put some fire in here. Open. Here you go. You can't really tell if you've thrown the wood in there. And I think if the fire's gone out, you need to throw like a whole bunch of extra wood. But needless to say, I waste a lot of wood. Okay, there we go. 49 and going down. Perfect. Just looking at the values there. Door close. And then this is a really fun feature. Because the game kind of runs on like physics and like pressure and all that jazz, the whistle has like pitch and stuff to it. Very satisfying. And the bell's kind of nice, and it keeps on like clanging when you let go of it too. A little momentum, as they call it, I believe. All right, open up the regulator. We're building. No, we're not. Water. It's just pretty. We got to build some steam. Honestly, I think we're okay because we're going downhill. Someone's gonna probably get mad at me here, but don't worry about it. All right, break off. There, see? We already whistled. We're good. Oh, yeah. See, I got no pressure, no power. We're losing it so fast. We're going downhill, though, so I just feel like if I have enough to, like, almost get us going, then momentum and gravity should take over. Okay, this is very irresponsible of me. I should have waited for the... Okay, fine. We got no power. All right, wait it out. What does kind of suck, though, when you jump out, the brake and your pressure thingy will go right back to 0 and full. So full brakes, and then your regulator goes to 0. So I'll wait that out for a second. I'll just bring over a little bit more firewood. And then I need to basically double my money right now for us to get another locomotive. But that's going to be the goal. And then like our next episode in air quotes is going to be maybe assembling that train and like going to do an alternate run and just talking a bit more about the game itself. I feel like, again, I'm all over the place right now. On my big list of things I want to accomplish, I do want to have a big grand turnaround point for this. Possibility of a yard. And I don't know what direction I'm going to take yet. It might be towards the mountain for the curve, or it might be that way. But then we also have to like line up more track from this side, right? So great potential for like building out a huge lumber camp here with fun train stuff. So that could be like an episode in itself. And then maybe just doing some like stuff around the home base. And it'll be really cool when we unlock and just have some fun when the rails are all built up. Okay, let me throw in some firewood. We probably have some steam here now. I see some the vapors coming out of the old engine. All right, back in here. Okay, so water temperature in Celsius, when it hits 100, starts to boil. We're already making some steam and vapor, but they were past boiling, so we're winners. Regulator open. Reverse is pretty heavy. Maybe lower that a bit. Brakes off. Okay, come on. A bit more power through there, come on. You can do all this by hand as well. It's just a little bit easier for me because I don't know what levers do what just yet. Man, we are heavy. This kind of stuff, don't worry. See how it janks a little bit? Don't worry about that. You're still connected. When you derail, I promise you, you will know. Oh, you will know. Okay. And raw. So this is probably enough already just to get us going. This is pretty much downhill the whole way. At some point, I need to flip a switch. I think I mentioned that before. I don't actually remember if I did or not, though. But yeah, when I get close to the bridge, I'm going to need to flip a switch. And you'll see. I had to have my friend help me build a bridge, and we have a switch on it, which is really cool. But yeah, shout out to my friend AC. Works for Train Stuff IRL. A lot of my friends, they are like diehard enthusiasts and have like jobs in trains. They play all the train sim games. So when this came out, they were the ones that like recommended it, and they jumped in and helped me get started here. So if I look like a pro, I'm not, I promise. I just happen to be an enthusiast. Okay, this is a dangerous situation here. That's why we're putting on some brakes now. But yeah, previously, like this curve right here was a little bit sharp. So you can see how I'm like taking the outside now of the track bed. We made it like a bit wider and a bit smoother, so you have like more confidence going through it. We've had some issues. This is a lot of derailments. Let's just put it that way. Nothing too crazy or hectic, but nothing you can't fix, right? Yeah, so that's smooth. That's going to be the switch so you can like brake left and go in the other part of the lumber camp. But yeah, because we will be applying the brake if we jump out, I can't like watch the view from the back, which would have been epic. And that's something you can kind of do in like Derail Valley. Get vibes from that game in here. Okay, I might actually pick up some speed here. Feeling a little dangerous. I like it. Get some good engine noises as well. Get the pistons going and all that. Now, downsides to the map. You unfortunately can't access it while you're in your train view like this. When I press F to leave this view and like step out of the locomotive, all the brakes go on. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. So if like you like log out or like crash or your friend's driving and they crash, like the train won't like run away. So I feel like in a sense that's good, but then it is kind of inconvenient that you don't have like a map. And then while you're looking at the map, you actually don't see the track or your friends or anything like that. You just see your own waypoint. So if you kind of lose where you are, or like where you left something, like, oh boy. And there's not like you can't really drop waypoints, I don't think yet. And I'm only speaking with like a day and a half of experience and like, 1.5 YouTube videos, right, of watch time. So clearly I'm a professional, right? That's why we're all watching this. All right, slow that down. Yeah, this game, it's almost like Derail Valley meet Transport Fever 2, the first-person version of that. Oh god, slow down. Oh, there's the bridge. Oh, actually, you know what? That's where I wanted to switch. Do we have enough time to brake? Oh, God. Oh, that was actually very easy to brake. All right, head back here. Here's that sweet bridge. Basically, the lumber mill, or the sawmill, sorry, is full. It can only hold 8 more logs in the pond out front. I will just run down so you can see it, though. Flip that switch. That is a reach and a half. I'm still holding lumber. Oh my goodness. Old man Jenkins and his favorite piece of firewood. I don't want to chuck that in the forest. Even though I guess that would technically be recycling. Let's throw that in the pile. You know what it was? Is the pile was no, it was not full. I just had a souvenir. I wish there was a way to increase the speed of your character run. You can do it in like dev mode in air quotes, but we don't get access. So yeah, the bridge, I mean, fairly legit. Whenever you add the switches and stuff, it gets a little bit complicated. That's why we have that little squiggle here, but something that could be smoothed out, but that's pretty nice. Help keeps the grade. And then down here it needs a ton of work. Great start so far, though. So lumber camp, sawmill, those could be in themselves just some like casual build episodes. And then, I mean, if you guys are enjoying it, if you're this far in, just let me know what you want to kind of see as content goes forward. I do really want to like add this to the mix. It's a really fun game. Yeah, so down here you can just do a really simple loop. And we try to make it like, I want to say future-proof almost. So the curves through here are so gentle. So we get like the big boy steam engines. That was kind of the goal of the whole thing here. Yeah, so the Pine Valley Lumber Company. What a great name. Only 8 more logs can be held in the thing here. And then just, you can see all the planks. We're full. So the goal would be to buy a new train, load that one up with different types of cars, have 2 working trains, maybe have to add a little bit of extra track through here so that we can safely pass each other. And then, yeah, start doubling the income. All right, run on back. So much to do, so much to do. Very doable by yourself. Totally, you can see here, just it takes a little bit extra time. And this game, because of how, like, you're not really playing in a rush because of how tedious it is anyway. So just, you know, sit back and enjoy. It's just what might take you like 15 or 20 minutes from overhead view in like your regular setting for these kind of games. It'll take you like 6 hours here, especially if you're trying to like smooth things out and be a perfectionist. And it was so funny. Like, I tried the very first time just to kind of see, right? I did a little bit of betting, and I was like, oh, I'm bored of this. So I was just going, like, over the terrain, and it looked like I was laying some, like, you know, like, crazy northern, like, Siberia, like, rail line, but then the permafrost melted. So then all, like, the tracks were just, it was like a roller coaster. So I think you need the betting, and it really does help with the grades, and if you keep a constant one, too, like, the trains are just so much happier. Oh my goodness, I just for a split second I was like, did I even switch that thing? We're good. Alright, so the fire's gone out. We have built a pretty decent amount of pressure. We hold 120, temperature's still pretty high, water level's still pretty good, so we can keep on moving here. And like I was saying, it's future-proof to a certain extent. I haven't really tried the big steam engines, but we've tried to make these curves as gentle as they could be. So we can go a little bit fast through here, which is fun and irresponsible. All right, let's pop that in. Oh, for a split second, I thought we were going straight, and I was like, oh, for Pete's sake. But no, we're good, we're good. Just in case it's driving you crazy, you can only flip the switch from the direction in which you're, like, looking into the switch. If you're standing in the switch itself and looking away from it, you can't flip it, if that makes any random sense. Which it kind of doesn't in IRL, but for the game. Okay, pick up the pace here. Let's go. Love that sound. Yeah, this game is like just amazing ASMR. Beautiful soundtrack. Beautiful, like, train noises. And just really nice, like, nature sounds, too, if that's your thing. Okay, we were going really fast, man. Ideally, let's not derail, even though it'd be kind of interesting to see, like, a re-railment. I don't want to risk losing the product. And so, yeah, here's our main line, and some of these points will have to have some passing points and some waiting and stuff like that, but pretty smart for the moment. And, like, the loop effectively works its best when you're going to the lumber camp and back. So we'll just need like another loop to serve this area. I'd love just making like ridiculously oversized infrastructure projects that are kind of unnecessary and redundant. Okay, let's see if we're on a nice straightaway here. Let's see if we can be dangerous and kick it up. I feel like the weight of the train itself should keep us from going off the track here, but I think this engine could like jump the rail if you go too fast. Okay, let's coast. So you can see the area where we start. You're close to your depot. You have a little maintenance yard. You start with one rail car, 1 engine, a water tower, and that's kind of it. You see the depot, you have to find a way to connect to it. You have some rails to start too. Oh, I thought we could coast way faster, or way longer. We need some more speed. Nice gentle way in. And then I've started a turntable, and we're gonna do like a mini outdoor roundhouse, so we can showcase some of our builds. We just gotta get more money. We are so broke. And in terms of just some like rough numbers, it was about $1,000 in tree removal to get comfortably to the lumber camp and back. Hit or miss. Which was about half of our starting money. And then we bought ourselves 2 extra cars. We did 1 run. I did 1 by myself. I didn't realize how full you can make these, so I only put 3 on initially. So, oh my goodness, what a mess. All right, here we go. That's a split to go to the depot. Here's us pulling up on it right now. Actually came up on it really quickly. Start applying some brake. Don't need that much, actually. And then this is our little just kind of waiting area. That also splits off and goes towards your turntable. Yeah, here we go. So I'll just show you really quickly how this kind of works. Just jump on out. Oh, for Pete's sake, we can go so much further. Yeah, so this is, again, it's just so jank. It's so great, though. Like, I can't even describe it. So you have to jump down here. Probably use some brakes. Where you all going here? You're wiggling. I gotta find the middle. Hello. Oh, I'm too close. Oh, am I too? No, I'm not too close. We had this problem before. Yeah, I gotta find, there it is. You gotta find the hitbox in the middle, click and drag down. And that opens up like the sidecar. And because of how close I am, I'm not getting like the pop-up for it, which is what was just throwing me off right there. And so that like effectively sells these logs. Now I have 1804. You can kind of see right here, we'll do this. Yeah, there's the thing. I was getting thrown off. Pull that down. That might still be close enough. Yeah, so there we go. It's like 10 bucks a log. More XP. Bob's your uncle, right? That's cool. All right, so let's run over here really quickly. So here's some switches. Painstakingly wonderful process. Like, it was so much fun doing all this. Just very, like, oh my god, very painful. This is what you start with here. And then if you wanted to buy like a new locomotive or something, you would have it pop up on, so you can kind of see us in the background. That's us right here. It gives us this cute little track over in the side for display purposes. So yeah, we're saving up. The handcars are hilarious. This is what we have, the Porter. We're saving up for this one though, and we're not quite there. And then in terms of being able to buy something, I'm looking for, yeah, see, cordwood and oil barrels. We could use that. And then lumber and rail beams. That's cool. So you just buy a couple of these, right? And it just shows up on your area, and then you can shunt on in, and Bob's your uncle. And then as you get more levels, the bigger and longer they'll get to, and eventually the supersized steam engines, which is pretty crazy. So here's your turntable turnaround point. I got 1 track for chilling, and this you can drive in from this way and turn around, or you can drive in from this way and turn around. And that'll connect over to here with like 1 or 2 more tracks down the middle. Okay, well I guess that's kind of it. I'm gonna wrap things up here, guys. Appreciate you checking this out. And if you enjoy this, like, subscribe, like, all that jazz, right? Come back for more. We have so much to do. And we play this in the Discord, so that's your thing, and you're cool. Maybe we'll let you in. I don't know, suspicious eyes here. We have to get to know you first, but come hang out with us. We'll see you guys again. And drop me a comment. Let me know what you think for sure. Is this game up your alley? Are you buying it? Are you waiting it? Is it expensive for an early access? What are your thoughts? All right, guys. See you later. All the best. Take care of yourselves.